Doki-Doki Literature Club. Oh, this one really took the internet and a lot of people by storm for a while there. I did a Let's Play on it, and realistically doing a review on this will make it very, very hard to discuss without going into some semblance of spoilers, and if you are here and you haven't gotten spoiled on it, then bravo. Good job. And you want to know maybe, hey, maybe I should try this? You should, 1, just go try it. It's free. 2, listen to my, I guess, spoiler-free review sort of thing. Basically, Doki-Doki Literature Club is an expectation-defying experience that really does nothing all that great, bar executing on its premise, but also doesn't really do anything bad. So, essentially, what you have is something free, and in the end, it does everything it wants to do very well. It doesn't have a huge time commitment, and it doesn't have qualities that drag it down to make that time commitment not feel like it's worth it. So, if you're wondering, spoiler-free, should I try this? Yes. Go try it now. If you don't like it, it's not going to be the end of the world. Also, remember, first impressions are not the thing that you probably want to take at face value in this one. So, don't play 10 minutes and be like, nah, I don't like it, or anything like that, because it is definitely worth it. Now, if you don't want to hear spoilers, click off now, because I'm going to approach this with the idea of I'm just going to spoil as much as I feel like spoiling at this point. So, 3, 2, 1, everyone dies! No, not really. Gone yet? Okay, good. So Doki-Doki Literature Club. I've heard a few opinions on this since I finished it. Probably the most significant ones are the extremes, and this really does have a lot of extremes of people liking it or disliking it for various reasons. Like I said, there's nothing really wrong with it. The characters are okay. They're not amazing or go away from the tropes that they're really based on too heavily in the first place. Some are interesting, some are, if you like those sort of tropes in the first place, you'll like the character to some extent, or just how they're executed. The music is simplistic or basic enough. The art is professional. It's not amazing in any way, but it's not going to be something that pops out at you in a, outside of the obvious moments in the whole, fourth wall breaking stuff. So ultimately, it really is a good experience. It's not like it's long either. It's this nice little thing that just works really well at what it tries to do. And I see no problem with that. I know the problems I've mainly heard, and just seeing opinions since I finished it myself, has been that it's, quote, not really like representative visual novels, and it'll be that introductory visual novel that really isn't like many other visual novels and stuff, and honestly, who cares? If that's your problem, then maybe you should have a bigger problem with the fact that most people probably think visual novel, they think stuff like porn, rather than stuff like this. I'd rather have them mistake what visual novels are typically like for this than for porn. And this is even probably more flattering on the parts of visual novels that have more value than, say, porn. In my opinion, I don't like the porn parts of it. I'm not saying I dislike porn either. I'm not. So I just felt like I should address that and stuff. Because, honestly, everything I've said about it, that sort of sums it up, doesn't it? It's just very well executed, streamlined, polished. It's just good at what it tries to do. And what it tries to do is somewhat novel. And what it tries to do is something that it does in a time frame that I think is a good amount of time for it to not lose the novelty or the interest factor of it. Now, to note, the other thing that people will dislike about it is because on the other extreme, people just absolutely love this and stuff, and that can get annoying in like any popular fan base, and that's just gonna be what it is. If you let that get to you, then you need to back yourself away from it and just be like, okay, I don't care about that. Let's just push that out of my life. I'm not gonna deal with it. And then just enjoy things as they are instead of trying to make that thing representative of that fan base. I am admittedly approaching this in a sort of free-form review style, so this has been less reviewy than it typically is for me. But honestly, there isn't a ton to talk about for this. You either like the twist, all the fourth wall breaking, or it doesn't resonate with you, and the whole purpose is void because that's the whole point of it. There isn't a ton of redeeming factors outside of that. Doki-Doki Literature Club is really a classic example of something that is the sum of its parts. It does everything very professionally, very effectively, made by a small team. And it really has one goal in mind, and it does that really well. I don't think the shock factor, I don't think any of that really is done badly, because it really is consistent with where it wants to go. And the only thing that can really make this something that you won't like is if it's just not the sort of thing that you'd like in the first place, where the entire premise, the entire point, just isn't that. And it's free, so it's worth trying, and you'll be able to figure out if that's the sort of thing that's worth your time, and there's no reason to not just say this is something that should be recommended. I don't have much else to actually say on this, because that's the main opinion I have. If you haven't tried it, if you don't know what it's about, I recommend trying it. If you have been spoiled on it, it might not be as interesting to do, but it might be worth your time anyway, because it still is free. And ultimately, to me, this game was just a breath of fresh air, to an extent. It was a nice little distraction and way to go away from all the other stuff I do, because I do visual novels a lot, I do completely different stuff a lot, and its take on just being a twist of the knife in a completely familiar concept was refreshing, and I quite enjoyed it. So, that's all I have to say on the matter. Agree, disagree, feel free to do what you want, let me know, don't let me know, whatever you feel like doing. I'll see you all whenever you choose to watch another one of my videos, review, let's play, whatever. I'll see you all next time. Drive safely, everyone.